Hey guys, my name's Josh.
And I'm Bridget.
And we are here today to talk about van life and answer a lot of questions you guys have asked us. So
we have been putting up a few vlogs and some product review videos since we've been on the road, but we haven't really done much about us and how we started and all those other questions that we sometimes get asked. Just know a little bit more about ourselves and a bit more about van life and how it all started. So Josh has written out a few questions. Some of them are the most common that we sometimes get on Instagram or TikTok. So it looks like we've got a list of 29 questions.
it could take a bit to answer all of them.
But we're thinking some might be worth doing a separate video, or maybe it might need to be more of a demonstration video.
Like details, how do we make wage, so how do we make money on the road, and what do we do for work and stuff like that. We could go in to that and literally make a whole movie about like tips and tricks.
But anyway, we'll get into the first one, I guess.
Alright, so number one is, why did we get into van life?
I think we should do first how we met. I think that's a good starting one. That's normally a question people want to know, right? I was in Sydney at the time, and Josh was in, I think he was in Canberra, travelling back to the Central Coast where
I was working in Victoria, and the Corona thing happened, and and work, as you know it, went crazy. Everyone, lost their employment and stuff like that. So
he
decided
he got on the dating apps, and I was already on the dating apps. Both matched on the app somehow, because my radius wasn't as far as Central Coast, so I think we actually matched while he was driving through Sydney. So I guess, meant to be. And yeah, we started talking, and I think one of the very first things he said was, do you want to go on a road trip? He kept on asking me, do you want to go on this road trip? And I was like, damn, this guy is keen to go on a road trip. I was like, he really wants to go on a road trip. And by that stage, it was kind of the early stages of Corona. So obviously being indoors and not having much excitement, I was like, you know what, a road trip sounds pretty nice right about now. So I said, we did a few video calls, because obviously, he could have been a crazy person, and friends and family were like, are you sure you want to go on this road trip?
So long. This is what happened.
I forget the story.
Anyhow, I do a lot of traveling, and I traveled in my car and done a lot of camping and stuff like that, and done a lot of solo trips. Really enjoyed it, and I was like, okay, well, it'd be nice to meet someone and share this with. So I was like, it's really hard to meet people in my area, and a lot of them are either married or got kids and stuff like that. So I was like, try the old Bumble, and because Tinder's more of a hookup site, I think, but yeah. Anyway,
so many out there.
Yeah, and then I started talking to Bridget, and I saw that she was rock climbing on the profile, and I was like, wow, that looks cool. She looks like she's outdoorsy and likes to get out there and have fun and explore, or whatever you say, adventurous.
That one photo is what got us mad.
And yeah, so anyway, I show up, and
in his big troopy.
Yeah,
so
I had my big car.
If anyone has followed
drive.
us from the beginning, we actually started in a troopy, a 4-drive Land Cruiser. Josh absolutely adored it. He's a bit sad, had to let it go for the van. But yeah, he rocked up in this huge troopy.
Well, anyway, then here comes out this girl, 5 foot.
Yeah.
Can hardly even fit in the car, and I'm like, okay, all right. I think she's adventurous. She comes out I think she had some dress or something, looked like she's ready to go.
I had activewear on.
Oh, that's right, yeah, activewear, yeah.
Because I thought we were going to be going on a hike or something. Like road trip, you think, date, probably go on a hike or something like that. So I came out with activewear.
Anyway, I'm like, all right, that's all right. Anyway, I'm like,
do you remember the first thing you said? I think,
no,
maybe one of the first few things. You were like, where's your bag? Where's your overnight bag and your bathers and stuff? And I'm like, just met this guy and he's already asking me to stay the night. Talk about.
Well, I was like, I didn't want to go like 3 hours up the road and turn around and have to come back. So I was like, well, you know, make sure you pack an overnight bag. I know it's a bit creepy, but
yeah, well, I was up for an adventure, so I was like, well, you know, may as well. So I went back up to my apartment. I packed my swimmers, packed my toothbrush and everything. So I was actually prepared for overnight too. You can never be too prepared. And so yeah, jumped in the car, and then what did we do? We parked up on the beach.
Yep.
Had dinner. He made me a nice stir-fried dinner. I remember. What was it? It was his specialty dish. It had like herbs and chicken and cashews. He loves
literally
cashews.
all I make, to be honest.
And so I just remember we had the saucepans, and we were eating out of the saucepans on the ocean, like on the sand, looking out at the ocean. It was actually really nice. And then yeah, we camped out overnight. I went for an ocean swim, I think, in the morning. I think you didn't. You may have been a bit too cold.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was such a nice drive. We like, it was like from the beginning, it was really comfortable. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Like, it was easy conversation. Like, I think Josh wanted to keep driving, to be honest. He was like, oh, like, let's go a bit further. We were nearly, I think, at the Melbourne border.
Yeah.
He nearly took me over to Melbourne.
I would have kept going.
Yeah.
But
I had work to go back to, but also, you know, I just met the guy, so
yeah, friends are like, where are you? Make sure you call us every 5 minutes to see that you're alright.
But I did have his details. Josh was very good. He said, do you want to get my license and stuff to send over to...
That's right, I did do that.
Do you want to send it over to your mum or something if she's worried? Which is like, that was obviously nice, and it's a good sign. I think I have a pretty good, if I meet someone, I have a good intuition of them. So from the beginning, like, I got good, I guess, good vibes off him. But yeah, and then we spent the day, I don't know what we did. I think we started heading back, and then here we are, never-ending road trip. I say that. He asked me on a road trip, and it's never ending because we're still going. So
yeah,
that's how we met.
It's just a lifestyle that I loved, absolutely loved, because I did a little bit of it by myself with the troopy, and I, you know, did a lot of travelling, and
yeah, from then we did weekend trips in the troopy, so we just did, you know, camping style. We did deck out the troopy quite well.
Yeah.
I had a lounge that folded out into a bed. I had a kitchen and everything like that. But then
I do miss the troop.
Yeah,
I do miss it. I love that car, and I will get another one day. 100% will. But the van just, yeah, it's just
comfortable.
It's just better for us to work out of.
Yeah, if you watch our van tour, you can see it's like an apartment. So we plan to be on the road for maybe like 2 years. So it's more like a home rather than a car. We saw it as, so it was, I guess, a little bit more of an investment.
Yeah, like I said, it's just comfortable. It's like a little apartment. So that was the main thing. And we're very lucky because, you know, vans and all-wheel drives skyrocketed because of COVID. So we probably have made a bit of money with the van, so which is good, you know. But yeah, this is our home at the moment, and
which leads us on to the second question, I guess.
So,
why did we get into van life?
Yes, why did we get into van life? Well, I know my answer.
We kind of covered it before, but you go.
So yeah, I love the lifestyle. I love the freedom. I love seeing new places all the time. I tend to get a bit bored of the same repetitiveness. Yeah, I just didn't want to work that life and
slave away for someone else.
Yeah, and I think in van life you can be very creative in working on yourself, and I always think that's the most important thing. I think you know, a lot of people invest in you know, real estate and, you know, more physical things instead of actually investing in themselves. And I think in van life you really do have to invest in yourself. It's like, we've met a lot of people in van life, and they're very creative, in what they do, and that's, you know, if they are vloggers or they're photographers or, you know, or they're advertising new places they've been to. They're just very creative in how they do it, and I just think that's really cool. It's kind of artistic in a way.
Puts everything into perspective, I think, as well. Like, you realise you really don't need much in life when you kind of scale back and, you know, live like how people live in like tiny homes and things like that. Like, we brought minimal clothing probably with us. Like, at the moment in our van, this is our whole life. Like, this is what we've got with us, and it kind of shows that you really don't need like all the fancy things, or like having a big house and everything to be happy. Like, we have everything in our van, and like it feels like everything we need, right? It's
yeah,
like, what more could you want? Like,
if you are coming from a house and you decide you want to do this life, yeah, it's going to be a shock to you. It's not as comfortable as a house. There is a, you know, there's a lot that you have to self-sacrifice when coming into a van, but just, I guess, the benefits from it, like seeing different places, meeting new people all the time, experiencing just new challenges and stuff like that, I think is just awesome.
It kind of changes your way of thinking. Like, it's we're very grateful that we've kind of gone in this direction, and that we made the choice to go to van life. We probably wouldn't have it any other way now. We probably won't go back to settling down and getting a house and staying in one spot. We kind of want to keep traveling because we love it so much. But yeah, it's just having that freedom is what we love, and you know, we can invest more time, as Josh said, you can invest more time in yourself, and you're not giving your time away. So next question is what we love and hate about van life. Do you want to go first?
What I love, should we go love first or hate? Hate?
Yeah.
What do I hate about van life? It's kind of a hard one, I guess.
Yeah, I've never really thought about that, actually.
I guess it gets messy very quickly if you're not on top of it. Because you're living in such a small spot.
He's not used to cleaning. That's why I said it's same with a house. You need to maintain it.
Yeah, so that would be probably my number one. I can't stand like clutter and stuff like that. I don't like that. So so lack of space. But I don't mind having limited clothes because I don't need a lot of clothes. I'm only just live in board shorts anyway, so, and a singlet. So
is there anything else you hate?
What else do I hate?
What about filling up the shower, or do you not mind that?
Yeah, but that's our choice. Like, you could go more expensive and you could get, you know, a better water system to just be able to fill up with a hose. But yeah, I guess that's annoying. I've got to fill all the tanks up of water. I
think mine would be having to empty the toilet. Josh has put me in charge of emptying out the toilet.
I said to her I did not want a toilet in the car because, I don't know, just...
But my bladder is ridiculous, so I needed to have one. We, if you've watched our van tour, we only pee in it. Yeah,
there's no way we're going the other one.
So, but it's just still a hassle because it fills up really quickly. And we normally maybe do it once a week, but it's not something that's enjoyable to do because you have to unclip it and take it out and find a dump spot, and then clean it out, and it's just a bit of a process. So that's probably mine. Maybe finding campsites to stay at. That might be one. I don't like trying
Wiki
to find
Camps makes that so easy right now. Like, you just go on Wiki Camps and you can find so much places. You can even find, like, they've even got campsites that you're going to have reception. So
that's an app we use, is Wiki Camps. I just don't like night driving.
It's another thing we don't like. When you're driving and you hit a no service area, and so you got no reception. So
that's true, it's a good one.
So yeah, that's annoying.
Especially when I get stressed because we work online, and if I can't get reception, it's just really frustrating. We both get frustrated with technology.
Yeah.
And so reception, it's not like your typical inner town being able to, log in. You've got unlimited Wi-Fi. So that's probably one. One for you, I think, is the fact that, you know, we got leaks. So things going wrong with the van, do you reckon?
Yeah, always.
That's probably where you've been the most stressed.
We've been very lucky, but we haven't had many, you know, things that have gone wrong with the van, which is good. Like I've heard some horror stories of some people that have just like.
Oh, I think I know one.
Been a nightmare for their van. But
Power.
yeah, we've been very lucky.
Power is one that we struggle with.
Yeah.
So we go off solar. And if we don't get sunny days, like today's pretty cloudy, if we don't get a sunny day, we don't have much power. The fridge will cut out if there's not enough power. We do okay because we do most of our work at a cafe, so we'll just charge up our devices, and we also have a kick-ass power bank which charges off. You can charge it heaps of different ways actually. So that helps us with power, but just, yeah, being stuck without power is just not enjoyable, especially if it's been a long day and you just want to watch a movie. Like, we've had a few issues with power. Like, so what we like about van life, it's kind of like what we got into van life is I love the freedom, like being able to go anywhere. We both love traveling, so it's just being able to see new places, experience new things. Like, I really get a thrill off, I guess you could say. And just being able to, like, say, be by the ocean and have a coffee, waking up to a beautiful sunset. Like, it's just moments that you wouldn't get being in a house is just what we kind of live for. And
another thing, sorry, that is hard is our family. Not seeing our family and friends, you know, for a while.
Yeah.
That gets tough. But we're very lucky. Today is like, you know, iPhones, you can do video chatting, and so that makes it a lot more easier.
Yeah, it's been like special occasions, but you can't just be there to like give them a hug. Like, it was Josh's mom's birthday yesterday. We just wanted to be there to give her a hug. So yeah, there's ways that you can stay connected, but it's also like not being able to have really a social life. Like, I've seen this question before. We actually got this question on our TikTok where they said, how is it having a social life? And to be honest, you don't really have much of a social life, which is why I think we drive each other crazy sometimes, because I'm probably more of an introvert and Josh is probably an extrovert, so he like craves that, like, he wants that time.
I love meeting new people.
He loves meeting people, and sometimes I just want to kind of be by myself.
Read a book or something.
Yeah, but so when we pull up to a caravan park, like, everyone in the van life community or in the travel community is just so nice.
Yeah.
Like, if you pull up to a caravan park, you can always like have a chat with someone, which is what Josh loves.
Yeah.
But even like on Instagram or like on social, we meet so many amazing people who we connect with, which is just really nice. So you do have that support network, definitely. Which is probably like something I do love about van life as well, is that the community is just really good. So you don't always feel alone. So, and it's being able to, you know, share your experiences and have those memories, I guess.
Yeah. Another thing I love about van life is, like I said before, you can be very creative. I think a lot more creative, and you get a lot more time, you know, with yourself as well. So you really do develop what skills you've got, and yeah, you can improve. So
yeah, it's having, I guess, getting that time back is the really good thing about van life. But it's, we every day we're grateful because we get to see all these things now while we're young. And we always say that, like, a lot of people wait until they're older and retired to see all these things and do all these things, but it's like they're saying youth is, what is it, life is wasted on the youth. Like, these are some of our best years, and like, we're just happy that we're able to really make the most of them. And
I don't know about you, but when I'm ready to retire, I would like to be just sitting on Bali drinking a bingtang and staring at the sunset.
That's our plan.
Getting a foot massage or head
so we
massage.
want to just have the best of both worlds, but yeah, just being able to travel. Like, we work online, but so we'll go into that a bit more when we answer how we earn money in another video probably. But yeah, it's just being able to kind of still live your life and see things and do things without kind of sacrificing that time or being locked away in an office.
Alright, what's the next question? Alright, next question.
So, sorry, I got an apple. I was a bit hungry. So she's like, you can't have an apple. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, I want an apple. Anyway, good timing. We're going to do pet peeves. What are our pet peeves about each other? Do you want to go first?
She's always got to eat on a certain time.
We go through this all the time.
It's
I
like,
don't.
It's seriously like, if it's a minute after, you know, her eating time and you don't feed her,
This is what I get
she'll kill you.
annoyed about.
She'll kill
It's
you.
because it's not by a time. It's when I'm hungry. Is when I want to eat. But this one...
But she can't wait. She's
Oh,
like,
that's the thing.
no
See?
patience.
It's not about eating on a time. It's that I get really, really angry if I'm hungry. But it's because you eat all the time, so you don't have an issue.
I don't eat all the time. But okay, all right.
You complain, yeah. I'm the one that
so that's
always
probably
I make your meals
my
all
number
the time.
one. Do you want me to go all mine first, or do you want to do yours?
Yeah, I can go mine. One of mine is when Josh shaves. He shaves in the bathroom, and so he'll shave, and then I'll go in there. There is tiny little hairs all over the whole bathroom. It's like he set off like a hair bomb in there. Like it's like confetti. It's all over the shower. It's all over the little shelf thing we have. It's all over the toilet paper, my shampoos, conditioners. That would be one of mine. And it's so hard to clean because the hairs are like that tiny.
I go.
Yeah. I know what yours next on.
Her hair.
Yeah.
You think my hair's bad?
Yeah.
You wake up at night and you got a long strand piece of hair running down your face, caught in your beard, and then you eat your food and you got like hair in your food. I'm like, there's no point in like, we'll be able to handle a dog in here because your hair is just like a dog.
Yeah. But you have to admit, I've been getting better because I've been trying to brush my hair out of the van in the mornings. But my hair's so long, and it's like when you can't like wash it and do all that all the time, it gets really knotty, especially when it's like you're working out and you're sweaty. It's like normally you just wrap it up in a bun. But yeah, I've been trying to be better at that, so brushing my hair out of the van so it doesn't get all in here. What's one of mine? Oh, Josh. So, God, he frustrates me sometimes when I'm like busy or I'm stressed. He loves to just annoy me right at that point. Like, he chooses no other time. When I'm in like a playful mood, he doesn't annoy me or like isn't playful. But then when I'm trying to concentrate or I'm doing work or I'm like thinking about something or like doing something, he comes up with these things. Like, he makes this noise where it's like, I don't know, it's like I can't do it. That he does that right in my ear. Can you imagine how frustrating that would be? I struggle with that. I really do.
Yeah, that's fun.
Or you'd like bite my ear or like I don't know, sniff my ear or something in bed, and it's like,
I like the attention.
Yeah, he does. We said we need a dog because he needs something to play with at the moment. But then he also said, if we get a dog, you're going to hate it because I won't get any attention then. But I said, just give me attention when I want attention.
Doesn't work that way.
So, yeah, apparently.
What else annoys me of you, eh? To be honest, there's not much. If there was a lot, then we wouldn't be able to...
Because I'm great. And I cook all his nice,
we wouldn't be able
meals
to
for him,
do van life together. Like, if we were really annoyed of each other all the time, then it just wouldn't work.
I think it's bound to happen, like being in such a close proximity to someone, literally 24/7, living and working. It's bound to that you're going to pick up, right?
Yeah, it's a great test.
And find little things that annoy you.
It's a great relationship test. So if you think, oh, you know, I've got a good relationship, then hire a van for a couple of months and set off and see how you go at the end of it. See how you are at the end of it.
It is a really good test. Anyway, do you have any more?
Nah.
I probably
honestly,
have a few
I don't.
more.
Oh, righto.
There's another one that's on my mind.
Okay, well, let me think harder.
Muesli. It's because I was thinking while you were setting this up.
gonna be
Muesli bars. He talks about clutter and mess, but he's like very messy. He'll leave his muesli bars all over the van. We'll be doing our washing, and there'll be like 5 muesli bar wrappers at the bottom of the washing. I don't even know how they end up in there. And then they end up all in the washing, and it's a pain. Any others?
Any more?
Could maybe think of a few more. But no, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. We have we're like a married couple. We have our good days, and we have our days that we'll bicker with each other. But considering everything, I think we do quite well together. So normally the good thing about us or about Josh is if we do have like an issue or I'm upset about something, he's always like, let's talk about it, and we'll kind of sit down and we'll get to the bottom of it. And
create the circle of trust. Is that what it's called, the circle of trust?
He came up with the circle of trust.
Well, I didn't come up with the circle of trust. I think that's all.
No, like you introduced it to. Is it?
Yeah, I think it's off a movie.
He introduced it to our relationship, I guess. We've only really done it once, but it's a nice thing to do. Like I think when you're in a relationship, like it's all about, Josh said this, communication.
It's like number one thing, and that's in anything. So you just really have to be able to communicate good.
Yeah.
Before it gets out of hand, and you hold in all those feelings, and then one little thing happens, like I'll leave a muesli bar wrapper in the washing machine, and she explodes.
Yeah, but they're only little things. Like we're pretty good. So.
All right. Our next question is, what do we do when we are struggling with van life? It's a good question.
What do we do? Maybe have a bit of a cry. We've had a bit of a few cries.
I don't cry, but anyway, she might. Oh, she cries a lot.
First time I seen him cry. Well, I say the first time I seen him cry was actually to Nanny McPhee movie.
No, it wasn't.
It was. It was.
No, it wasn't. I did not cry at the Nanny McPhee movie.
It was to the Nanny McPhee movie.
No, that's a lie.
He said that he never cries.
That's a lie.
And for a long time, when we were dating, maybe a year, I'd never seen him cry. That was the first time. Second time was when
We're not lying on this thing.
I swear.
I don't like it.
And then I think the third leak we had in the van was when he broke down, and he had another cry.
I did break down massively when that. I got up on the roof, spent the whole day up there trying to fix this leak. Started raining, and this drop just started falling on my head again, and I just went. That's
so
it.
Usually when we struggle, I guess we kind of just try and talk, like, what is it, like, comfort one another.
Well, we talk to each other. Yeah. We say, why are we doing this? What do we want to get from this? What, why? It's kind of
we try and practice gratitude a lot. So we kind of just try and I talk a lot about the law of attraction. It's all about like your words and your thoughts and your feelings. So it's kind of, if you have any negative feelings, you kind of just try and flip it. So you think about all the positives. So we usually try and do that.
Yeah.
If it's like a power issue or something like that, what saved us? Macca's has saved us a few times. We've driven to Macca's and we've just sat in Macca's. We've eaten Macca's and we've just charged up our things. And that's kind of how we've dealt with a few situations.
Talk to loved ones, talk to family.
Yeah,
always calling my dad. Ask him, Dad's like, well, what the hell do you want me to do? I'm all the way here and you're there. Like, and I'm like, it's just good to talk to you. It's good to vent. It's good to... Yeah, we talk to them really regularly, actually. We're very lucky that we both get along really well with each other's parents. I guess we have a really small group of really, really good friends. And, and I guess they're the ones that are always checking in on us and seeing how we're going and stuff like that. Like, always our family.
Yeah, we're very...
my mate Reese that I always speak to like nearly every day, and
it's like my mum. I'm super close with my mum. I talk to her every day. So yeah, we're very lucky to be surrounded by amazing loved
And they're always
ones.
encouraging us, and they're like, you know, if we do feel
Mm.
down, or they will go, like, you guys are killing it, like
Yeah.
you're doing so well. You're seeing all these places, you know, you're doing all this stuff. Like, you know, people would die to be doing what you're doing and stuff. And I guess like it kind of lights us back up again.
Yeah, we're very lucky to have supportive people in our life. Like having that support, like even just to get us started doing this, like leaving and, you know, taking the risk. Both sides of our family have just been like, go for it, like you only live once. So
yeah, like we didn't even plan to really work when we first set out to do this. It's kind of just all fallen into place. And I know that's weird to say, like, because everyone's like, oh, don't worry, you know, it will just all happen, like it will just, everything will fall into place for you guys or whatever. And you're like, oh yeah, right, like, you know, but it really, like, it's crazy how much it does. You know, you just put it out there, and
I think it's really like a mental. It's really a mental thing. Like
yeah, it's getting past that fear factor of like, oh, you know, I've got so much here and I'll lose it all, or you know, but you might gain so much more.
I think we'll probably talk a lot more about that in some videos actually, because we really love inspiring people and talking about that.
Yeah.
So that's what we kind of hope to do on our travels, because, you know, a lot of people are held back by fear, but when you kind of jump outside or go outside your comfort zone, it's kind of where, like, I've read a nice quote which I quite liked, is where the magic happens is outside of your comfort zone. And so, which, like, I think is so true for us. Like, if we hadn't done it, like, we've just been, like, very blessed, I guess you could say, and had a lot of opportunities come our way and doors open for us, and, like, they would have never opened if we'd never taken the risk.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we just
want to do these videos and stuff, just encourage so many more people to do it. Like, get out there, see your backyard, you know, and it can be in different countries, or it can be in Australia, or, you know, whatever, but just take the risk, eh? Like, you're just not going to regret it. I don't think you're going to regret it, as long as you've got a strong head and, you know, you don't let small things get you down or destroy you. Yeah, you just really...
So we're probably coming to the last of our questions now, I think. We kind of went through the list, and even though we have a lot,
well, there's more there, but we'll probably do...
We'll do separate videos.
Yeah, separate videos.
We've kind of looked at them, and, like, a lot of them we'd like to probably be showing you guys. Like, for example, how we cook in the van, or like washing, toilet, things like that. Things that we'd like to kind of show more of a demonstration. We'll do in a separate video. But yeah, we kind of really wanted to make this video more about us, I guess, and more about how we started. So hopefully we've kind of given you guys a bit more about us, and we've covered a few burning questions. Maybe we'll do one last one, like where do we plan on being in the next year or something like that, or how long we plan to do van life. I think maybe that's a good one.
Yeah.
Do you want me to take it?
Yeah, you take it.
So we've actually had this question, I think it was on TikTok, where someone said, how long do you plan on being in the van? And originally we said, I think we said a year to start with, and then it kind of went to 2 years, and I was like, to Josh, I was like, since when has it gone to 2 years? He just keeps on extending it. So at the moment it's 2 years. We've done, I think it's only been 3 months, is it?
Yeah, it hasn't been long.
It's only been, I think, 3 months. We've seen so much. It's crazy to think, like,
going on 4 months.
Yeah, that we've built up such a good community in such a short amount of time. We've seen so much. But yeah, so we plan on doing 2. So at the moment we've done about 3. So we're gonna head at what we've done so far. Oh, maybe it's another question. So we've got a year and a half.
We're kind of doing it on how long the international borders are going to be closed for. Like, so we're trying to, you know, do a lot of Australia while the borders are closed. Because once the borders are, you know, I live over in Asia a lot. I love Asia, so I really would like to do some traveling more over in Asia.
Yeah, we want to live half the year in Asia. So until then, we're going to try and do Australia, because it is a beautiful country. There's so much to see.
And it's our backyard. So I feel like if you don't see, you know, your country,
You're crazy.
yeah, I think you're crazy. It's in your backyard. You know, we can drive around the whole of Australia. So why not?
So in a way, yeah, we think this is, if we're going to see it, there's no timeline now. So it also depends on kind of the borders, because the borders are so uncertain at the moment. They're closing, they're opening. So depending on that, we will probably end up in Perth to finish with next year, and then you know what, a lot of it's not planned. We kind of just said 2 years, we'll end up in Perth at the end of it, and then we kind of hope to look into maybe getting an investment property there. And then we've kind of talked about hopefully the international borders will be open by then, and then we can go half the time in Bali and then half the time in Australia. So van life 2 years. By that stage, you want to get a property, be over in Bali, and then we'll probably rent the big Kahuna out after
and
the 2
if
years.
that works good, and and you know, a lot of people are really interested at renting it, then I might build another one. I say that like, oh my god, like this is probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do.
Yeah.
Is build, and thank God I had my dad as well to help us out with there. So, but yeah, like if we're finding a lot of people want to rent it out, then obviously I'd put another one on the road. And
yeah, so we'll have probably both of them renting out. But then we also talked about, when we are living half the time in Asia, that Josh, as he mentioned before, wants to get another troopy.
yeah,
So probably the time when by then and we're spending in Australia, we'll probably be spending weekend trips or our time in Australia in the troopy, and we'll probably just have a rooftop tent on the top.
yeah, and just I like some sort of kitchen setup maybe inside, or
But you've also talked about a bus. So
yeah,
there's a few
I
options.
would like to get a full drive, because there's just so much to do with full driving in Australia, and I absolutely love full driving. And I'll have the troopy and I'll have the motorbike on the back of it, and I'll be happy man. So once we fly back from Bali, we can just kind of camp and stuff like that.
We'll probably just see the bits that we couldn't see with the van because we were restricted by not having a full drive, so we'll probably just go back to those spots. But yeah, so we would have probably happily seen a lot of Australia by that stage, and then we really just want to kind of explore Asia, and we'll probably just move our traveling over there and keep exploring and keep vlogging those places, because there's a lot of places we haven't been to or haven't experienced together, so there's a lot more on our bucket list.
Yeah, there's just so much ahead, and we've got so many plans, and it's really just ticking one off as we go around, like and yeah, and then all this hopefully it all falls into place. So next question is, do we see ourselves having kids, and how are we going to incorporate kids into this lifestyle?
It's funny because I've seen a few questions of people being like, I wish I could do this, but we've got kids, or like, you know, how can you do it like with kids? But you know what, we've seen so many people traveling with kids. Like a lot of them have like caravans or trailers.
Yeah, I think that just the main thing is, you know, if you are worried about the kids and you're like, oh, you know, I can't travel with the kids, I guess if you really want it, you just make it work. I think there's nothing, I don't think there's anything more to say in that way. Like whatever you want in life, just go get it.
Yeah.
I know that's like simple for me to say and stuff like that, but honestly, like if your worries about with kids and stuff, what are your worries? And think about it like, oh, the kids, maybe schooling, maybe that might be your worry there. But you know, there's always options.
There's
a lot of options for schooling. Like when we have kids, obviously we do want to have kids. Our daughter or son, we would love them to go to an Indonesian school and Australian school, half kind of thing. I love them to have the background of Indonesia, be able to speak it, and have friends over there as well. And
yeah, we want them to be like
worlds.
well cultured, I guess you could say, and just be really in touch with sounds very hippie, but in touch with nature and
Yeah.
kind of like not be
Focus on
so
the more
materialistic.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, we kind of want to bring them up that way.
And we want to teach our kids more important things in life, like, you know, I think a very important skill set to learn in life is to invest properly, to invest in the right things properly. And if you can learn that from a young age, then you're going to kill it, you know. And that's just the problem with our schools sometimes. Like, they don't teach you.
There's a lot of benefits to schooling for children, but I think there's a lot of things that schools don't teach children which they really should be teaching in schools, such as more life skills, like being able to survive out in the world once you leave school. Like, a lot of the times, like, the things they teach you'll never use again in your life. But even, like, you know, it's tax time at the moment, and I was doing my own tax, and I said to Josh, I'm like, this is so complicated. Like, things like that, we think that they should definitely be teaching in schools, and it's something that kids can, you know, we'd be teaching our kid, and they don't necessarily have to be going to school for that. So I think just setting them up.
We don't want our kid kind of to be working for someone. We want them to be their own, you know, person. I want them to be in charge of their income, and they're in charge of everything that, you know, they want, kind of thing.
Yeah, so by that stage we'll want to be passing on all our knowledge, and, you know, setting them up to be successful, because, you know, I think this one maybe should be one of our first questions, to be honest. What type of van we have, how do we get it, and who did the van build? So we got a Mercedes Sprinter, long wheelbase, high roof. Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, long wheelbase, high roof.
2011.
So much to include. 2011.
Yeah.
And I think it's the biggest van that's out there that we've seen on the road. The reason we're going to get the medium one, but because Josh is so tall, we had to have the bed the other way. So we needed the extra space, like any space you can get. If you're going to get a van, we would definitely recommend going for additional space. It's better to have more space than less space. Because
a lot of people are like, oh, you know, how do you park that and stuff? And honestly, we don't really have a trouble. Like, I've parked this in car park, shopping centres and everything.
Crazy spots, Josh. He managed to fit the Kahuna in.
Yeah, and Bridget, every time she does, we've got a couple of dings in the back door. But
they're not all from me. They're from branches, remember? There was leaves and sticks in it.
Branches.
They were. But anyway, we need to get a reverse camera, because the one we got, it's a bit frustrating. When we bought the van, they put on a brand new reverse camera, and then it rained one night, and then it completely ruined it. You would think that they'd be waterproof. But anyway, so that's the van we got. Josh, and with help of his dad, did all the building. I helped a little bit, like I did the windows. I'm very proud of some of the windows I did. But yeah, I was helping out as well with a lot of the build, but I did a lot of the design.
I was actually doing a contract up in now Kosciuszko, up there, and I was, in the meantime from working, I was building this van. So it's kind of hard for us to put a timeline on how long it actually took us, because if I put
it was kind of split between Josh working and us being away, and then working on it every day. But you said maybe 2 months?
2 months if you put it all together in the one.
2 months, which is actually pretty
good,
pretty quick to get through a van build, we think. Getting the van took a bit longer, because they were in vans in such high demand. To get this one, we were so thankful that we got it, because everyone we inquired about, they were sold like that. So yeah, we were just meant to have this one. We were very lucky the guy held it for us at the time. And yeah, we were very happy when we first saw it. It was like everything that we needed. And yeah, so the van build took two months, and we worked out expenses for the van build. The conversion roughly cost about, I think it was 11k.
11k, yeah.
11k to do the whole thing, which, you know, we'd probably say it's on the low side of things. We'd probably say that's a, what do they call it?
We tried to do it you know, save money as much as we could with the
Yeah.
build, but we also wanted to have that feeling,
Like
of
luxury feeling. Yeah. So we kind of say it's like budget van but luxury van at the same time. We wanted it to feel like really nice and homey, but also really,
I guess we wanted to make it as well, like if anyone wants to know anything about the van further on, you can always message us more. But a van like ours, anyone can do it, really. Like,
Yeah.
it
because
doesn't.
Josh isn't even a builder. Everyone who stops by and looks into our van, they're like, oh my god, you built this, are you a chippy? And Josh is like, no,
I've done landscaping, or I'm an arborist by trade. But
anyone can do it.
yeah, anyone can do it, really. Like with our plumbing and our electricals and stuff, I guess our electrical, we needed someone to do it, so that's probably your biggest expense.
Yeah, we had no clue with the electrical.
that.
Josh had no idea, so we thought better to leave it to the professionals, so we actually paid them. So all up, I think that was $3,000 for the electrical, right?
Yeah.
So if you think about that, if we'd done the electrical ourselves, that would have even brought the cost down lower for our build. But we kept it cheap in a lot of other ways, like the shower setup, the plumbing, like our kitchen and everything.
Yeah, not putting tanks underneath the car, not
Yeah.
hooking up sewage and stuff like that for toilets, or hooking up
The shower.
plumbing. So we've done it really like, kind of like we use one of those companion shower systems just for our hot water, and we've just got a shower room.
So it's more ours is like it's more
fine,
like portable manual kind of.
yeah, it's someone that can easily do it and not spend a crazy amount of money, you know.
And we're really happy with it. Like having showers in the night, like how good are they?
Yeah, well,
Like, we love our bathroom.
I've
and
put the
like,
hot water away at the moment
the
because
shower
it's
works
just
really well, and like it's not really doesn't take like it doesn't feel like it takes a lot. Like a lot of people say like, oh, it's hard work van life, and like don't get me wrong, like it's all not like fairy tales like you always see on Instagram, but like I feel like it's not a like big job, or like that we find it too hard for maintenance. Like it's, you know, it takes just filling up the water, or you know, that's the main thing, or emptying the toilet, or other than that everything's pretty easy to manage.
Yeah.
But I think that's our last question that we'll cover off today. We'll definitely do some other videos to cover off the other ones where we can show a little bit more, and we'll show our van a little bit more. But if you haven't seen our van already, you can watch our van tour. So we did a video running through our whole van tour and all our features and everything like that. So definitely check out that video, and comment if you've got any questions yourself, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll be having a lot more videos coming up, especially when we start heading into the outback. We're going to the Northern Territory next, which we're excited about. We're going to go diving with the crocodiles. That's a highlight we're looking forward to.
It's just so much that we are going to be doing. But yeah, like Bridget said, if you got any questions or anything, just let us know, because you know, we love to help.
Love answering them.
Like we're not saying we're professionals or anything. Like I've been traveling on the road for a fair bit, so I know a little bit. I know some tips and tricks, I guess.
But yeah, if you have any questions, we'll also maybe try and cover them off in the next video, or we'll definitely respond to them in the comments below. But yeah, we hope to hear from you.